Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for joining me, and today we have a book review and we are reviewing Stephen King Fairy Tale. This is the first Stephen King book I have ever read in my life, but not only did we read it, we listened to it. So I read this on audiobook on Spotify because look, that is some tiny ass words on a lot of pages. So I saw this and I was like, maybe not, let's see if it's available on Spotify. And so it was, and I'm really glad I did because it was a joy to listen to. Let's get into the review. Okay, so first and foremost, the actual audiobook itself. Let me see if I can find who the narrator was, because they were brilliant. And also Stephen King narrates a section of it as well. So it's narrated by Seth Numrich and Stephen King, and it is great. What you're going to see on Goodreads, because I always go on these review pages just to kind of see what anybody else is thinking and if I've missed anything or not quite thought of anything when I've been reading. A lot of people were complaining about the fact that the book seemed like it should have been 2 books and it wasn't very Stephen King-esque. I've not read anything else from him, so I don't know what else to compare it to. Yeah, I've watched It and Carrie, but I've not read them, so I don't really know. But I really liked it. The plot is basically split into 2 halves. So there's the bit before Mr. Bowditch dies and then the bit after. And the bit before is very much like Charlie is a troubled youth, his dad is an alcoholic, and he's just trying to get through, trying to get to college and just trying to get on with his life. And then all of a sudden he meets Mr. Bowditch because he's fallen off a ladder and he was just around to help him and call the emergency services. And that's basically it. After he's met Mr. Bowditch, he then becomes his carer, he looks after his dog. Once he comes out of hospital, he looks after him, and they kind of form a bond. And that's really nice. Like, that first half of the book is really sweet. And it throws up some questions about, you know, how old Mr. Bowditch is, where does he get his money from, you know, all of these things, like, what's going on? And they get answered. So the old man dies. That's not a spoiler, it's right on the back of the book, and basically then leaves Charlie with a tape recording of everything that he needs to know and everything that is in the shed at the bottom of the garden. I won't tell you what it goes into, but basically there's a fairy tale land in that shed, and Charlie then goes on an expedition to save the dog because the dog is dying. She's old, she's lived a life, but Charlie loves the dog, so he wants to renew the dog's life. And in this fairy tale land, there's a way to do that. And so he basically goes on this adventure. And what I really enjoy is that Stephen King has really nailed into the fairy tale aspect of this name. So when Charlie goes into this new land, and I think, to be fair, throughout the whole book, he references various fairy tales as if Charlie himself is learning about them. But in the fairy tale land, you've got a person who lives in the shoe, you've got big bad wolves, you've got different house types, straw, brick, wood, you've got references to Rumpelstiltskin, and it's just, I really like how he's like intertwined it all together. And ultimately, in this kind of fairy tale land, there's some problems going on. The villain has overthrown the throne and the monarchy, and so Charlie ends up transforming into the prince that was promised, and then has his own little quest and does an action adventure situation, which I won't go into. But I really liked the 2 halves. Yeah, they were really distinct, but they worked so well and I wasn't bored at all, and the narrator just got it great. And the way that it's written and read is, I don't know, kind of breaking the 4th wall in a way. Like, I feel like I'm on the phone to my best buddy Charlie, who's telling me all the stuff that's gone on in his life, and I'm just like, whoa, that's crazy. That's the way that it's read, and I really appreciated it. I loved all of the characters. I thought it was all really well written. And the end, you might think, oh, that's really abrupt, but it really fits in with the fairy tale trope of it all, and that, like, this is the end, happily ever after, here's a quick little overview of what happened. Yeah, it was really good. Honestly, I don't actually know what else I can say. It was really good. There was action, there was adventure, there was a little bit of love. You've got some trauma in there. It was just a really good book. It's long as hell, but I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that's my review of Fairy Tale by Stephen King. If you've read it, let me know what you thought down below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!